Yay! We're live. Hi, everybody. Sorry, we were
saving the day.
We were helping a neighbor with some car troubles. Sorry, I'm a little late. And then when we got up here, it was telling me that, oh, too bad you can't go live. Sorry about your life. So everything's all worked out, and here we are. So how is everybody? Jan's going to get snacks. If you hear popcorn, it's Andy because he's like, oh, I'm going to make some popcorn. Hi, Laura. Hi, David. Hi, Jan. Hi, Charles. So, Camaro Life. Just thought I would wear his shirt tonight. He is our newest. Car Show Life is our newest sponsor. He is. Hi, Jackie. He is offering 15% off to dwellers. We'll have a link. We'll put that link out there for you guys as soon as he gets it ironed out and gives it to us the way it's going to be. But if you go to his site and mention, hi, David, if you mention that you saw him through the cave, just mention that you want the dweller deal, and he will give you 15% off on any of your Car Show Life needs. So, yeah, it's all on here. carshowlife.com. He does all kinds of stuff. He's done a show board for tribute. He did some lights for Onyx's interior hood because her hood opens like a Corvette. And so my poor little hood liner didn't have any light on it at night. So he hooked us up and helped us out with that. So now I have like a whole hood thing that has magnet lights that go in there. So it can sit there solid, or it flashes, or it goes through colors. And it's pretty cool. I like it. And then it has a magnet, so it sticks to the car. It's pretty cool. I likes it. So how is everybody? We got one more day left of the week, and the weekend is here. Super excited. So tonight we're going to talk about I know we were lined up to talk about engine bays, and we were get my handy dandy notebook. We were going to talk about theft deterrent and engine detailing. So I found out so much about theft deterrent that and engine detailing is like, seriously, I think that's a whole girl cave in itself. So we're going to do engine detailing on another day. So let's just pin that for another time. So theft deterrent, there's so much that we're just going to go over theft deterrent tonight, and we will just talk about engine detailing on another night, maybe next week. I don't know. And I just feel like engine detailing needs to be when it gets maybe warmer out, and we can do that live from the garage, like from one of the engines, and we can actually like go over products, maybe detail the engine right out of the garage, and you guys can like ask me questions and we can go over stuff right from the garage. What do you guys think? Yeah. Maybe? No? All right. So Theft deterrent, everybody has really been getting, especially our West Coasters, everybody's been seriously, like, tripping out over all the Camaros that have been getting stolen. Um, there really has been a lot. I got some reports, did some research, and San Francisco San Francisco reported in, um, 2022, the San Francisco Police Department had reported, this is just Camaros, guys, just Camaros, reported that 21 Camaros were stolen. Okay? It doesn't seem like a whole lot of Camaros, but this is just San Francisco. This is just one city. In 2023, it more than doubled. 46 Camaros were stolen out of just the San Francisco area. So we're in 2024, and I think these numbers are from March, and 15 Camaros have been stolen already. Already, March, right? So that's nuts. So if this keeps going, um, that's a lot of Camaros that are going to be stolen out of the San Francisco area. LAPD has noted that as of March 2024, 90 Camaros have already been stolen. 90 in Los Angeles. Los Angeles alone. So that is a 1,285% increase over 2023. That's a huge increase. Huge, huge increase. Right? That's really scary. And a lot of it is being done from key cloning. Um, this is a little machine that's the size of a cell phone. And sadly and scarily, it is being done by teenagers. This is really sad. So they're taking these cars and they're doing a couple of things with them. They are selling them for, these are $60,000 cars, and they're selling them for $3,000 and $4,000. Your $60,000 Camaro is being stolen and then turned around and sold for $4,000. That has got to make you mad. Okay. Or your $60,000 Camaro is being stolen and parted out, and then all the parts are being sold because nobody can get parts right now. And then even worse than that, it's being stolen and then it's being taken to illegal street takeovers. So these are those drag races that are being done out on the street, and they're being destroyed because these people don't care about the car. So they're going balls to the wall with these cars, racing them hard and not putting them away clean, that's for sure. Um, and then in some instances, I'm sure some of you have seen the videos of, the teenage girls dancing on top of the Camaro that's caught on fire. They don't want to get caught with these cars because, that's larceny. So they are setting them on fire and just doing all kinds of crazy stuff for them. They're going crazy. They're going wild. They're losing their minds. And this is your, $60,000 car that they're doing this to because they have no respect. They don't care. So it sucks that you lose your baby to something like that, and it could be avoided. So these cloning devices, if you don't know what this is a little cell phone size device that doesn't have to be but a few meters away from either your key fob or your car. And this device can open the door to your car and also start your car. And it does this, um, by cloning the radio signal that your key fob uses to talk to your car. Long time ago, there were devices like that that were used to clone your garage door openers, and that's how they would break into your home. So it's the same concept with a little bit better technology, and now they're using it to start your car. So you can avoid these by putting a kill switch on the car. And we'll talk about kill switches here in a second. But the kill switch will help with that because the kill switch stops that frequency from starting the car, because the kill switch stops the car from starting. So um, another thing that you can do to help block the signal so that they can't get the signal with the little device is called a Faraday pouch. Guys, these pouches are some of them are super cute, and they cover your key fob um, on your keychain. So you just slide your key fob into it, and it protects the signal from going and getting captured. Some of them look kind of carbon fibery. They're just a little They have a little pouch, a little Velcro flap, and you just shove your little key thing in it and Velcro it shut, and then it hangs on key your keychain just like your key fob does, and it just covers over the top of it. Some of them are even super fancy, and they have them with leather and all kinds of stuff, but it still has that fabric on the inside of it. And some of them are really cute and pretty and all kinds of stuff. So I found them as cheap as $5.99 to $8.99 at Walmart. Look them up online, and you'll see them on eBay, you'll see them on Amazon, you'll see them all over the place. They're really inexpensive. You can get them really inexpensive. You can spend as much as $80 on one if you want. They also make boxes that you can keep your keys in. Like, everybody comes in and throws their keys on a little bowl or something like that. You can throw them in a box and put them in there so that somebody can't, because literally we have our keys hanging right next to the door in our apartment. They could walk down the hall in our apartment and stand next to the door in hopes that that's what people are doing in the apartment complex, and grab all the frequencies from all of the key fobs in every apartment in this building, go stand outside in the apartment complex and just wait to see which cars go off. And they could take whatever cars out of the parking lot they wanted. It's that easy. That easy. That's scary. So you can get little boxes that hang on the wall that you can hang your keys in and shut the box, and it protects them. You can get little boxes where you throw the keys in it and shut the box on your little table when you walk in and throw your keys in. There's all kinds of ways that you can protect yourself from this. And I know it's a bunch of extra steps and it sounds like a real pain in the butt. But if you live in an area where this is something that is happening, you might consider doing it, because this is something that, could be the difference of your Camaro being where you left it or not where you left it when you go back out to get to it, right? So, fairway pouches, fairway boxes, fairway containers to hang your keys in. Those are some options that you have. And yeah, you could put your credit cards in it too. They tell you that you can wrap your keys in foil. You can put them in an old, grandma's old biscuit can. All that stuff works too. I'm not really sure I want to walk around with a bunch of foil on my key fobs. That that's a little gay, but I don't mind one of these cute little pouches that are $5. I don't. If foil's all you got and you're in a pinch, then go for it. It'll keep aliens away, I guess, too. But there you go. So again, guys that are just joining, Car Show Life is our newest sponsor. They are sponsoring all of our dwellers for 15% off. If you need, we're going into car show time. Drake does some amazing show boards. He does the outside the car show boards, inside your car show boards. Just go to carshowlife.com and check out all the stuff that he does. He does all kinds of really cool stuff. He's got some lights that can like light up your show boards and light up the inside of your he has some really cool stuff. He really does have some really cool stuff. Oh, look, it showed up. This is Tributes. This is the board he made for Tribute. So it's not very big. It's really easy to travel with. Has Velcro on the back. And the Velcro sticks to this. Oh, sideways. Sticks to this. Okay, you guys, I'm going to put this on my lap so I don't break it. So that sticks to the Velcro. This sticks to the back of this. So this screws onto the thing, and then this thing turns and does whatever you want. This clamps anywhere into the engine compartment. And then as you can see, the sign moves around any way you want. And so we can clip this anywhere. We can clip it to anything. We can clip it to anything outside the car. We can clip it to inside the car, inside the engine compartment, whatever we want. And so as you saw, that came way apart, or we can leave the thing screwed to it and just take this whole thing off and store it this way. But it's easier to take the whole thing completely apart when we store it. So anywho, and he has all kinds of different ways to attach these boards to your car, or however you want to do it. There's stanchions that you can drive your car onto that hold on to it. There's stanchions to go all the way around the car. There's all kinds of cool things that he does. So look him up, and you can get 15% off your order with him. Yay! Thank you, Drake. Don't forget, we also have carbon add-ons if you want carbon fiber and all of that fun mess to put in and around your car. And all these links are in our description. You can just click on it and right in you'll go. They're going to give you 5% off of your whole order. And also Dead Brand Designs. And we actually brought that up. So Dead Brand Designs. This is what we were showing you last night. It's actually on the cover. And I'm a firm believer in not permanently affixing things to the car. So it is also 3M'd with the 3M Velcro thingies so that we don't have to travel with it inside the engine compartment. And it just sticks right back on there. And he's driven with this, and he has driven with this on it. I prefer he doesn't, but he did drive with this in there this past weekend. So it did stay in there, so it will stay, but I don't want him driving long distance with it in there. So, ta-da! Yeah, okay, you can take it away. He's super excited about that. And so Dead Brands will give you 5% off as well. And the link is also down below in the wherever it is, and in the description of the video. And you can click away and go get those too. And he can make all kinds of plaques for everything. Hi, Linda. Hi, Spider. Let's see. Woohoo! Spider won Best of Show on Saturday. Yay! We had a bunch of Best of Shows on the weekend. That's awesome. Did you post any pictures, Mr. Spider? Onyx was hanging out. She got best of show on Sunday. Command strips. Yeah, command strips works too. Awesome. All right, so we talked about some numbers of cars that are being stolen in the California area and so on and so forth. I think, did I get, let me see. I thought I got, oh yeah, those were just, okay. So security for your Camaro. Some of this is going to sound really like, right? Like, duh, why aren't we doing this? Lock your Camaro. Like, can we lock our Camaros? Does that make sense? If you don't lock your Camaro and somebody gets in it and takes it, can you be upset? I'm thinking not. So if you didn't lock your Camaro and somebody takes, you're welcome, Dead Brands. If somebody takes your Camaro and you didn't lock it, and especially if you didn't lock it and you left your keys in it, please don't come crying on the Camaro Cave about your missing Camaro. Lock your Camaro. Okay, just lock your Camaro. Take your keys with you. Park your Camaro in a safe area. Don't leave your keys in or near your Camaro when you're not with it. You've got steering wheel locks that you can use, kill switches, alarm systems, and you can install tracking systems. We're going to go over every single one of those things. So lock up. If you aren't near it, lock it. Don't leave any expensive items in it that are visible. Don't give people a reason to want to break into your car. So if you leave your, $6,000 Louis Vuitton bag sitting on the passenger seat of your Camaro, and somebody breaks into your Camaro to get it and just decides, hell, while I'm in here, I'll take the car too. Come on, guys. If you leave something expensive in there and they get in to get it and it's gone, you put an invitation out for it. Don't do that. Insurance will only cover so much. And last I checked, stupidity is not on any of the policies. So, be smart. Don't entice them. Don't give them a reason to break in. Be smart. Don't leave it running anywhere. Gas stations, driveways, open garages. I know that you're like, oh, I forgot to grab this. Let me just run in the house real quick and grab it. Or let me just run in this gas station right quick and grab a Coke. Don't, because the time it takes you to run in the gas station and grab that pack of cigarettes, or to run in the house and grab whatever it was you left on the kitchen counter, is half the time that they need to take your car. That's it. They're waiting there for you to do something dumb, and that's it. They only need half that time to jump in the seat and take off. Half the time that you took to go inside. The time it takes you to go from the car to inside the house takes them to go from outside to inside your car and leave. By the time you get back outside, they're long gone. Don't give them that opportunity. So that pack of cigarettes, that cup of coffee, that whatever you left in there just became super expensive. That's a $60,000 pack of cigarettes that you just went in after. Shut the car off, lock it, take the keys with you, go get your pack of cigarettes. You probably shouldn't be smoking anyways, but go get your pack of cigarettes, go get your Coke, go get whatever it is you went in there to get, come back out, unlock your car, get back in. It's worth it. I'm telling you right now, it's worth it. All right, park smart. Park smart. We already park in the North 40, right? Because we don't want somebody to door ding us or any of that. Um, we all make the jokes that we park 3 miles away from the front doors of Walmart. We might as well have just walked anyways, right? That's how far away we park so that somebody doesn't scratch us. So, and then you come out and somebody's beat to hell up Pinto is sitting there right next to you. Seriously, there's 400 spots closer to the door, and this then you chose to park next to me? We all know that story. We all know that story. We live it every day, right? Okay, it's gonna happen. Whatever. We all park out there. While you're going way out there to park, find the light post. Find the post with the camera on it. Find the furthest away parking spot that's near the mattress store or whatever is out on that end of the parking lot, because that building probably has a camera on it. Park smart. Find the one that's near the bank, because all banks have cameras on it. All the little ATM buildings have cameras on them. Find those. Park smart. Park near places where somebody that is a smart thief is going to look at the car and say, there's a camera on that building. I probably shouldn't try to take this car because I'm going to get caught on that camera. Or somebody's going to see me dicking around with the window or doing whatever I'm doing with this baseball bat or whatever I'm trying to break into this car with. That's not a key. Underneath this light. Yes, there's going to be bugs and all the other stuff that comes along with parking under a light, but there won't be thieves because they are not going to break into the car that is directly under a light post. So park smart. Okay. Take a look at your surroundings. And seriously, not only is that smart to park in those kinds of situations for the fact that somebody is not going to be messing with your car when you're not near it, but when you come out to get into your car, and we'll do a whole other, ladies, we will do a whole other series on being safe when you're by yourself about coming out to your car. Parking in those kinds of situations, because I know you're going to want to park your car somewhere where it's not going to get door dings and all that, which puts you way out in nowhere's land and not near other people. You want to make sure you park like that anyways, because you don't want to get attacked while you're way out in the North 40 all by your own self. So you always want to be prepared for making sure that there's not somebody waiting for you out there. So I don't have to worry about anybody being underneath my car, because they'd have to be about that thin to be underneath my car. So I know nobody's waiting underneath my car, but they could open my car and be waiting in my car. So whole other episode. Park smart. Okay. Park smart. And check things out. Just check things out before you park and make sure that that's going to be a good place for you to park, that it's not hidden somewhere where it's going to be vulnerable. Okay? So just be smart. Be smart, guys. Be smart. And Jan, you're right. Some thieves will go into garages and follow you home and clone your key fob. They'll clone your garage if they can, so that they can get into your garage, because they know that we don't lock our cars in the garage. So they'll clone the garage door signal and wait for us to park in the garage, and then send the garage up. Take the car right out of the garage because they know it's unlocked. And a lot of people leave their keys in their cars in the garage. I was one of them for a very long time. Egress was always a huge thing for me. I always had a really quick egress. So my keys were always very close to the car, so that if I had to egress quickly, I could. They weren't in my car, but they were definitely on the way to it. So um, it would be really easy for me to just grab it and go. And it was in the laundry room on the way out, the house laundry room garage. on the way through the laundry room, grab the keys and go. So they didn't even have to come all the way into the house. All they had to do was open the laundry room door. There's the keys. So, just be careful. Be careful. Um, let's see. Last week, I drove mine to work and didn't want to park it somewhere. Yeah. No, I was the same way I used to park my car. It was my daily driver for a very long time. Onyx was my daily driver for a very long time, Laura. And I used to park her. There was this one parking spot that was just awesome in the mall parking lot because I was a area manager at the mall. So at this particular mall, there was this one spot that had no spots on either side. It was awesome. And I would get that spot and then I would never move. I would walk to the bank. I would walk to go get lunch. I would walk to the other stores. Whatever I had to do, my car never left that spot. It was under a light. There was no spots on either side. It was protected by cement. It was perfect. I don't even know why that spot was there, but it was. And it was almost literally, I think it was closer to my house than it was to the store. But it is what it is. That's where I parked. So, and I would walk everywhere from that just so my car could stay in that spot. So I get it. I totally get it. But it was a good spot. It was smart all the way around. And I had security take me out to it at night just so that I could be safe. Yep, definitely, Jan. Take the key all the way into the house. And when we finally get settled doing whatever we're going to do, I do believe we are not going to be doing the cute little key things that we have going on here. We're going to have a locked box, kind of dealership style. And I'll make it cute, but we're definitely going to have the keys all in locked boxes. So, hey, Gypsy. That's all right. I was late too. We were jump starting a neighbor's car. Did your daughter win her softball game? All right. So, keys. Let's we're all guilty of this. We are all guilty of trying to leave the key as close to the car as we can. We just talked about this a little bit. Let's not leave the key, let's not leave it near or in the car. That's not smart, especially now with keys the way they are. I mean, keys back in the day when I first started driving were just keys. They were just a piece of metal that went in the ignition. Now there are these fancy electronic sending signals. The key almost costs more in the car. And so you have to protect all this other stuff. Now you got to protect the signal. Not only do you have to just make sure you don't lose it, you just like, it's crazy. Like it's crazy. So you got to keep them off site. You got to keep them stored in these crazy boxes. They got to be locked. They have to be protected from aliens. And there's just all this stuff that we have to do. Don't keep them in the car under a visor. Don't do that. That's the way it was all done for years. Hell, I remember having a conversation with Scott where he was telling me that he went to this one dealership and all of the car keys, because this dealership was so big, were literally under the visor to all the cars because there's no way they could get the cars out because there were so many of them in there. Crazy. Don't put the keys in the visor. So don't keep the keys hanging in the nursery with the children. Keep them somewhere else. Or when you come out one day, you might open the garage door and all the children will be gone and all the keys. So, and if you have to keep your keys in the nursery with the children, keep them in a locked box, a box that cannot get broken into, so that it's not something that they can find. And they make really cool ones that hide behind picture frames and all kinds of stuff. So if they walk in, they look around for the box, they can't find it. That's the way to go. That's the jam. So find some kind of cool hidden box, put your keys in it, lock them up that apparently has this fun foil, whatever, that keeps the signal from being able to get hacked. All right, so let's move on to what we were all talking about the other day. Wheel locks. There are so many different kinds. They have these locks that clamp on and go over your dash. They have the locks, the old fashioned, like the club, that clamp on and hit the floor or your pedals. They have these huge disc locks that cover the entire steering wheel. They even have these locks that wrap around and then snap into your seatbelt. They go into the female end of the seatbelt. There are so many different kinds of locks that you can put so that if they do actually break in and make it into the interior of the car and get it started, they can't turn the steering wheel. So they can go straight, but then when they have to make a turn, that's it. They're done. They can't go anywhere else. So they're going to have to stop the car, get out, and just leave it wherever they were going to have to make that turn. So they won't get to go very far. Depending on your budget, this is kind of where your choices are going to get made. So you've got the pole locks, the cable locks, the disc locks, all kinds of crazy stuff. The pole locks, I found a few. There are plenty more out there, but just to name a few, the Cartman, $24.99. The Astro L, $25.99. The Artigo, $84. Big, crazy, fancy one. Okay. This goes back to the one that started them all. This ages me. I remember this from the infomercials. The Club. You can get those for anywhere from $26 to $53.99. There's another twin bar looking kind of thing that's called Streetwise. It's called the Streetwise Twin Bar. That bad boy will put you out $28 and some change. There's one called the Stop Lock. That one's about $85. And then, like I was telling you, they have this big silver disc thing that's 2 pieces. It clamps on one side, clamps on the other, and locks. That one is called a disc lock. Covers your entire steering wheel. And these are expensive. You're going up there now. Now we're looking at like $250 to $270 some dollars. Then these cables, and they're not chains. We're not like, bike locking your steering wheel. Although you probably could. I believe they're chains wrapped in like webbing. And these bad boys are, they varied in all kinds of prices. They went all the way from 20 some dollars up to $100. All kinds of different variations of them. They wrap around the steering wheel because your steering wheel has either the peace sign in it or whatever going on, to where it's not just a circle where the thing just loops around. You have obstruction in the center. So it goes in there and then it pulls down and it locks into your seat belt. And that keeps the steering wheel from turning. So you have that option. And then what else did I find? One of those was called a case and top, and that was $52. That was kind of a mid-range one. So there was a ton of those out there. So just go online and then figure out which one suits your needs. And see what you like best. And remember that this is something that you have to, one that's not locking the car down, you have to store it somewhere while you're driving around. So those ones that wrapped around and plugged into the seatbelt, those stored really small. They fit right underneath your seat when you're not using them. That bar thing is going to be sitting next to you somewhere. So your passenger is going to have that between their legs, or, down on the floorboards or something like that. Let's talk about kill switches. So kill switches. is a switch that's going to prevent an electrical circuit from completing. So when that button's pressed, the kill switch can disengage, um, completing the electrical circuit and allowing the electricity to go ahead and flow back to the car's ignition system, and then the car will be able to start back up again. So that when your kill switch is killed, if somebody has copied the signal, if they try to use the signal and the kill switch is killed, the signal won't be able to pull it. The car won't respond. So that's why they're saying in California, they're telling everybody put kill switches on your car. And then you undo the kill switch and your fob will now work, or anybody else who's copied your signal. But it lets you control when the ignition or the car will respond to that signal. So that's kind of cool. Unless you're, let's face it. So let me just throw it out here. If your thief is motivated enough, they're going to take your car. If these are just kids running around trying to take the car or whatever, then these things are going to work. But if your thief is professional and motivated enough, they are going to just flatbed your car. So if you're not paying attention and they've got the time and the effort and the equipment, they're just going to back up, put a chain on it, pull it onto a flatbed, and they're going to be gone. Hands down. Nothing is going to be able to stop that from happening. They're just going to drag it up onto a flatbed and it's gone. If you kill switch it, Jan, it's like a battery reset. If every time you kill set it, yeah, it's going to mess with your settings. Which to us, in areas where this is not rampant, you probably don't need to like go that crazy. But in California, where 90 cars have already been stolen, like people are waking up and their cars are gone, like every day. Every day. This is crazy. Those people are desperate. Those people are the people that are needing these kinds of things and just desperately trying to keep onto their cars. They don't have garages. They don't have these are people that are just going to work, parking their cars outside their office, and then coming out after their 9 to 5, and their Camaro is gone. Broad daylight. So they're grasping at straws right now. That's what kill switch is. If you live someplace like we live, um, where we're lucky enough to be able to put it in a garage, I'm lucky enough that my car's parked right up behind the loading docks where I work, and there's eyes on it pretty much every 20 minutes. Like, I'm good to go. Like, if my car gets stolen, it's a 1 in 1,000 chance. Like, I'm dumbfounded. These people every day are just like super excited to see their car in the parking lot when they get back out to it. That's scary. So these are, last straw efforts for these people, especially if these are their daily drivers. And, like, I can't imagine being that. And I'm from California. You guys, I lived in California for 23 years. Like, I can't imagine. And my Camaro, when I lived in California, that's what I drove. It was a Camaro. That was my daily driver. I can't imagine going to get groceries and then coming out and my car is gone. Bro, where's my ride? Like, that's not cool. All right, alarms. Let's talk about alarms. Alarms have been around for a long time. They are so much better now than they were back in the day, but they are still just alarms. A lot of them come on the cars from the factory. You can go get a much better system installed at your local radio shop. I will tell you this, and you can get a really decent alarm system, like high-end decent alarm system, installed for 4 or $500. They used to be crazy expensive. Now they're not. So, um, the bad thing about alarms now is people don't really pay attention to them. So, an alarm can be going off and everybody will just be like, "Oh, look, that car alarm's going off." Nobody really pays attention to them. It does call attention to the car, so a thief will probably stop trying to break into it and leave just because, "Oh, shit, people are gonna be watching me now." So, it will probably stop the effort and make them leave, so it might help out, but I don't know that it's necessarily as effective as it used to be. So, is it a well spent half a grand? Maybe, maybe not. I would maybe make sure that you look into something that has the kind of system in it that alerts you that something's going on. I've seen systems where if the alarm is going off, your key fob goes crazy or it alerts your phone that somebody's messing around with the car. That way you can get up and physically go out to the car, or you can call the police and let the car, like you can get involved. If it's just going to make the car make a bunch of noise, that's probably not going to do you any good. They're just going to find a way to make it shut up and keep moving about their business and take your car anyways. Be smart about your alarm choice. Because then oftentimes it's really just gonna slow them down, right? So, and I will just go a little tiny bit further with this note on alarms. Be very mindful of who you go to when you get your alarm system. Because let me tell you about some of the crazy stuff that was going on in the area that I lived in before I moved here. So there was a scam, a racket, whatever you want to call it, that was going on where and this wasn't just one shop, this was several shops. And I found out about this firsthand from somebody who actually worked in a chain of shops. And here was what they were doing. So you take your car into the shop and you're like, "Hey, can you put this, this, and this in my car?" And I have an alarm system put in, stereo equipment, this, that, and the other. And they put all this expensive stuff in your car. They now know what's in the car. They know they have your key fob. They know your alarm. They know your alarm codes and frequencies and all that stuff. They can match the frequency of your key fob. They know how to get into your car. They know where you live. They have all of the information they need. They know where you work. They know everything about you. They know the car, right? They know what's in it. They know that you're insured. They know all that stuff. I'm sure a few of you figured out where I'm going. They find the car, take everything out of it, make it look like a break-in because they can get into it with no problems. They know what they're doing. They put it in your car. Then they take it and they sell it, not out of the shop anymore. Hey, you want to buy a stereo out of the back end of my truck? And you report it to insurance. You get the money. And what do? You go traipsing right back to the same shop and you say, "Bro, my stereo got stolen, but my insurance paid me for it. Can you do this again for me?" "Sure, I'd be glad to." And guess what? Rinse and repeat. And your stuff is just gonna continue to keep getting stolen. It's crazy, and they keep going back to the same place. So, you gotta be careful where you go get that kind of work done. Make sure it's totally reputable. Certainly, if it gets stolen out of your car, don't go back to the same place. Go somewhere else. Um, just be very careful. That is definitely a scam, and it's one of the oldest ones in the book. So, be really careful about that, and, you know, just I don't know, it's there isn't a whole lot you can do to protect yourself from that, because you have to leave them your keys, you have to leave them everything. They have to know everything in order to do all that stuff. You really don't have to give them all your information. They really don't need to know where you live. I knew a few people that they broke into their homes while they were on vacation and took everything out of the car while it was in the garage while they were gone on vacation. And the neighbors knew it was being done, and they told the neighbors that they were there working on the car and that the owner knew about it. And the neighbors just were like, "Oh, okay." Crazy. Crazy. So be careful, guys. Be careful because people like that are just gonna throw something like that into your car. They really don't need your home address. They really don't. And if they tell you, "Oh, we have to have your home," no, you really don't. Give them a storage address. Find a local storage place and tell them, "I keep my car in storage. You don't need my home address." So, they don't need to know anything about you. I'm paying you cash. My first name is this, and you don't need to know anything else about me except for here's my name, here's my car, and here's my cash. Put it in my car and I'll pick it up in an hour. That's it. You don't need to know anything else about me. I'm not marrying you. We aren't dating. That's it. You're just putting some equipment in my car. So here's my phone number. You can call me when it's ready. Um, I don't, tracking systems. I think that's the last. Look at my list. Yeah, tracking systems is the last thing. So most new cars, all the new Camaros are going to have the tracking systems already on the car. Those are fun. Can go into a whole story about tracking systems, but I won't. Tracking systems. So we can track the car, right? You can get on your phone and you can be like, "Oh, here's my car." Those work great when you're like parked in a huge parking lot and you're like, "Oh, where's my car? I don't know where my car is." You're at Disneyland and that parking lot is huge. And you're like, "Where did we park? Cinderella, Snow White? What dwarf did we park at? I don't remember." Um, the tracking thing will tell you where your car's parked, right? The tracking thing will tell you if somebody took your car and where they took it, if it hasn't already been torn apart and dismembered. So, super cool. But again, it can be dismembered because the person who took your car most likely knows about the tracking system too. It's going to be the first thing they pull apart. So they don't want the car to get tracked because, hello, jail time. So put a secondary tracking system on it. Buy a secondary tracking system. They make all kinds of cool things. Like you can put tracking systems on your keys, your kids, your dog, your shoes. There's a horrible thing going around right now where people are taking magnetic tracking and sticking them underneath your car to track your car when you don't want to be tracked. Why not put one of them on it yourself so that you can track your car if somebody takes it away from you? Put it in the interior somewhere. I mean, don't, obviously don't stick it right in a glove box or something because that's going to be the first place I'd look if I was stealing your car. I'm going to stick it in the headrest because you can take that off and shove it up inside somewhere. I'm going to put it up in my dash somewhere. I'm going to stick it somewhere that, when I'm taking the car apart to clean it, because, I take the seats out and do all kinds of stupid stuff like that when I get it ready for a car show. I'm going to put it somewhere in there where somebody who isn't taking the car apart to clean it isn't going to look. So put it in somewhere like that. That way, if it does get taken, you can use that tracker to help find it. It'll also help the police. So, and those are really inexpensive. I mean, for what they're worth compared to the price of the car, those really aren't that expensive. So find a secondary tracking system and throw that in your car, especially if your car's outside a lot. It's worth it. And if you lose your keys all the time, wouldn't help to put some on your keys. Yes, my app does track it, but again, it is tracking the system that is in there from the factory. And if I'm stealing your car, Jan, that is the first thing I'm going to disconnect. And I just went through something recently over the last couple of years where Andrew and I did a lot of research on how to disable the tracking on a vehicle. And it can be done. And it's really not that difficult. That was something that we had to do some soul searching and decide whether we had to do or not do. So it is definitely something that is not difficult to disconnect. You lose some other things if you choose to disable it. You do lose some other apps, but it can be disabled. And I think if you're ripping off the car, the apps that you lose along with it, they don't really care about because they don't want to go to jail. So they'll lose those other apps to get rid of that. Yeah, Apple AirTags, 100%. All righty, guys. Any questions about any of the stuff that we brought up tonight? Guys, we got 15 people in here and only 6 likes. Show some love for protecting your Camaro. Hit that like button. And if you like what you've been hearing, please feel free to hit those buttons at the bottom and subscribe. You've got Girl Cave on every other Thursday with me. And you have to put up with Andy on Wednesdays with me on just the normal cave. He's entertaining. I keep him around. I've been trying to keep up with the comments. I don't think I missed anything. Yeah, it's always a good idea, Linda. I did see that. It's always a good idea to let your neighbors know when you go away. Have them keep an eye on your babies in your house. That way, and let them know who's allowed to come and go. If the cars are going to be, being babysat by somebody, we always let our neighbors know if somebody's going to be moving our cars around. Because they know, whoever's keeping our place always knows where our keys are and everything. But we let everybody know who's allowed to keep on the cars and who's not. I mean, we don't just let anybody drive our cars. If we're never really gone for any long periods of times, and if we are, 2 of the cars are with us. The other 2 are not. So somebody has to keep an eye on 2 of the babies while we're gone, because usually 1 or 2 of them are with us. So, no questions? Everybody's, like, super quiet tonight. Super quiet. Is everybody just like, "Oh my god, my car could get stolen while I'm sitting here watching." Anybody doing any shows this weekend? Speaking of the babies, did everybody run to the garage to make sure that their babies were still out there? Everybody's wrapping their car fobs in foil until they can go get the little bags to put them in. I know, the weather is still not super great on the East Coast for shows. We're, like, squeaking them out as we can go. I know the Midwest is full swing, cranking it they're, like, in the 80s, although I have gotten some reports from some Midwesterners that they're, like, up in the 80s and 90s and then, like, shoots down to cold weather and then climbs back up and then shoots back down. So everybody's been kind of experiencing Mother Nature's bipolar craziness. It's like, "Ooh, we get to take the cars out. No, we don't. Ooh, we get to take the cars out. No, we don't." So it's probably gonna be another one of those years when, oh, look at that. Al gave somebody a membership. That's cool. Thank you, Al. I don't know what it's gonna be like in New Jersey. We're going to Virginia. It is the grandbaby's 5th birthday. She is turning 5. So we've got family coming in from Kansas, and she's gonna be that big 5. Just I don't know what we're gonna do with her. She's so grown up now. So we're gonna go celebrate her 5th birthday. She's going to a mermaid painting birthday party where they, like, bring statues and everybody gets to paint mermaid statues in Virginia Beach. So we're gonna paint mermaid statues next to the beach. So we call her Sister. So Sister is turning 5. Little Miss Sahara. 64 Saturday, 82 on Sunday. 82. Wow, that's a huge jump in temperature. So bring a sweater for Saturday and shorts for we thought about bringing a Camaro, David, but I don't think we're going to because the weather's gonna be kinda crazy. And then we're gonna go see David and have dinner on Sunday. Yay, we're gonna see David on Sunday. I think I have that same sash and tiara, Jan. I know, but I think David, I think we're getting rain here. So we don't want to take the Camaro because we're gonna hit it in the travel. I don't know. We'll see. I don't know if Andrew's gonna break down and want to take the Camaro or not. The fuel to put in those bad boys is also like, I don't know, like $100 a gallon right now too. So I don't know if we're gonna if we're gonna fork out the $100 a gallon for gas to feed one of those beasts, or if we're gonna take the Equinox and just pay $50 a gallon. Who knows? Well, yeah, that goes without saying, Jan. Andrew takes pictures of all of our shenanigans. That's just not me. This is this is way outside my comfort zone just doing this. Andy makes me do this girl cave stuff because it pushes me outside my comfort zone. Yeah, Mother Earth has been angry about something for a while now. Mother Earth and our Father God is super angry with the way we've been taking care of things. Between between David and Andrew, I'm sure there'll be all kinds of pictures from Sunday. Oh, you like the Camaro on the back? It's got like a window in it so that you can like sit in it and put your face in it. I think Andy and I put our faces in it when we first brought it home. Now it just sits behind me for Girl Cave. Alrighty, guys, we are at the hour mark, and Girl Cave, I always try to make sure it only lasts for an hour. We get organized, get everything out that we're gonna do, and try to keep it at an hour so we can have our lives. Um, does anybody have any questions? And does anybody have anything that they want Girl Cave in 2 weeks to be about? I don't know if the weather is really nice in 2 weeks, we can do engine bays because we can go outside and do it. If the weather is not pretty, then no go. We got to come up with some more couch time stuff. But think about it, and over the next 2 normal cave nights, come up with a topic that you guys want to talk about. And I will bring anything to you guys that you're interested in. And until next Wednesday, guys, be safe, keep the faith, and keep those Camaros close to you. Shirt update. Andrew went to the printer yesterday, day before yesterday. Today is Thursday, Tuesday. Andrew went to the printer on Tuesday, and the shirts weren't ready. I know we're trying to get them by this weekend, but they may not be ready until next week. But as soon as we have them, we will, I'm sure, be like in a big pile of them on the next video that we have them ready for. And then we'll start figuring out how we're going to get them shipped or handed out at car shows. So I know that they're getting close. I know that he has all of yes, David, we'll see you this weekend. I'm hoping, David, that he has those shirts ready because we can bring you yours this weekend if he does. But I'm hoping he has the shirts. The shirts were there, everything was there, the hats are made. Um, so we hope that they'll be all printed and ready to go by next week, latest. And you guys will know. First thing, as sure as we know, I'm sure Andy will start blasting it all over the thing. And we do have 17 shirts being made beyond the orders. and they are medium, large, and extra large that I made them in. So if anybody wants any extra shirts, there are again 17 extra ones being made beyond the ones that were already spoken for. And they are in medium, large, and extra large. All right. So everybody be safe this weekend. We will see you guys on a Wednesday for a normal cave. Be good.